The local route, using a quantized model like a distilled BERT or a small T5 model, gives you speed and self-sufficiency, but at the cost of reduced generative capability. For a 24-hour project, the answer is almost always start with an API. Get the functionality working first. You can always explore swapping in a local model later if latency becomes a core gameplay issue. This is MLOps in microcosm. Build the pipeline first, then optimize the model.
Time is our enemy, so our tech stack must prioritize speed of iteration over everything else. For the game engine, something like Godot or Unity is perfect due to their extensive asset stores and community support. The AI backend is where it gets interesting. Don't build it inside the game engine. Instead, set up a minimal Python server using Flask or Fast API. Why? Because the Python ecosystem for ML is unparalleled. You can use the Hugging Face Transformers library to host a model with a few lines of code, or the OpenAI library to call an external API. The game engine simply makes HTTP requests to your local Python server. This decouples the game logic from the ML logic, making both sides easier to debug and develop independently.
Let's get practical. How do we build dynamic dialogue? First, we need a prompt. Good prompt engineering is 80% of the battle. Your prompt should establish the NPC's persona, their current mood, their knowledge of the game world, and a summary of the recent conversation history. For instance, you are Bram, the grumpy blacksmith. You dislike adventurers. The player just asked you about the dragon. Respond curtly. The game sends this prompt to our Python server. The server forwards it to an LLM API. The response is parsed and displayed in the game's UI. The trick for consistency is managing the context window. You don't send the entire chat history every time. You send a concise, rolling summary. This keeps the prompt efficient and the API costs down. AI isn't just for text. We can create a pipeline for generative art. Imagine the player finds a sword of whispering gloom. Instead of using a generic icon, the game can generate a unique one. The process is this. The game's loot system generates the item name. This name becomes the core of a prompt for a diffusion model like Stable Diffusion, perhaps a fantasy sword hilt, dark metal, glowing purple gem, game asset icon, white background. This prompt is sent to our backend. The backend uses a library like diffusers to generate a 512 by 512 image.